Not only is the frame in the new Wishing You Joy Stamp TV kit perfect for creating a focal image on a card, but it can also be used to make an adorable card base. This small 4x4 card is a perfect way to present a gift card or to attach to a beautifully wrapped gift for any occasion, depending on what you stamp in the middle. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to do this project. First, you're going to need some of the rubber stamps from the new Wishing You Joy Stamp TV kit. And I have the frame, and you can see I've punched the center out. I also have the little snowman stamp, and I have the Happy Holidays greeting. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do this. One way you can do it is you can just pop that little guy right inside the center. Why don't we do that for this technique today? We'll put him right in the center. Or if you prefer, you can always just have them attached to a separate block. Then you're going to need some markers, and I'm using some of the Copic markers and some Sakura glitter pens just to glitter up the snowman and the frame. You're going to need one of the Label 16 dies to cut out the frame, and this is the largest die in the pack. You're also going to need some score tape, and I have the 1/8 of an inch score tape. You're going to need some ink, and I'm using the Memento Rich Cocoa ink. And maybe you didn't know, but all of the Memento inks will work with Copic markers, not just the black. So if you want to make a brown and white card or a brown and ivory card, you can still use Copic markers if you use Memento ink. You're also going to need a score pal and then some cardstock. I have 2 pieces of the Gina K Designs 120-pound base weight white. And that's going to be my card. And then I'm going to create a matching envelope for you, and I'm using one of the pattern papers from the new Wishing You Joy set. Okay, so to begin, let's start by inking up the snowman and the frame. And you know what? I'm going to stamp the snowman separately because I want to show you how easy it is to line it up. So just to be a little bit more inventive here, I'm going to do it that way. Now I'm going to start by inking up the entire frame using this Rich Cocoa ink pad. And you really want to make sure it's nice and inky. Now you can see on my block here, my frame actually extends a little bit outside my block, but I'll show you what I do in a case like that. We do have bigger blocks, but I just grabbed this one and it will work just fine. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this right here toward the bottom of this piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to put pressure on all 4 points of the block, and then the top and bottom, and then the sides. Then I'm just going to reach over and just gently press down on anything that's sticking out. And that'll make sure that all those areas get inked. And there we go, a perfect frame. And I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to just stamp this right in the center. It doesn't take much to line it up. We've got the little snowman there and right in the center. So there he is. All right. For my next step, I'm going to run this through the Cuttlebug, and I have my A plate and my B plate. And then I'm going to lay my image down and put the die on top. And just take a second to line it up perfectly. There we go. Oops. Okay. Then I'm going to need the C plate. Remember, C is for cut. I'm going to lay that on top and run it through. There we go. So now I have the front of my card. Now I'm going to cut one more, and this is going to be the back of my card. And obviously you don't have to line this one up. Just have to make sure it's on top of the cardstock and cut. And that will be the back of my card. For my next step, I'm going to color in my image using some Copic markers. And the colors I have here are W2, which is warm gray, number 2. I have baby blue, which is B21. I have pink, which is RV11. And I have buttercup yellow, which is Y21. Now, one fun thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the perimeter of this frame in yellow. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Sakura glitter, just the clear star glitter on top of it, and it's going to make it look like gold. It's just going to be so pretty and shimmery. And I'll finish that frame later. I want to tell you some of the other colors I'm going to use. I'm going to use the pink to color in his hat, and I'm going to skip every other stripe here. And I'm going to use a little bit of clear star on top of that as well. And that really won't change the color of the pink, it will just add some glitter. Then when I finish that up, I'm going to finish every other stripe using the baby blue. And on top of the baby blue, I'm going to use a little bit of the Sky Star Sakura pen. So I'm going to finish coloring all of this, and then I'm going to come back and show you the next step. Now you can see I finished coloring the snowman and the frame. I added a little bit of pink right around the rim here too. And then you can maybe see here a little bit, I have a little bit of glitter pen on there, and you can see the shine. But at the end, I'm going to show it to you with our non-glare lights off, and you'll really see the shimmer. So my next step is to take this blank panel, and I'm going to stamp a greeting right on there. I'm going to use the Happy Holidays and some more of the Memento Rich Cocoa ink. And I'm going to stamp this down just a little bit, like right about there. There we go. So I have Happy Holidays. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to assemble this card. My next step is to take my Score Pal. Of course, you can use your Score Buddy for this too, but to make the matching envelope, you will need the Score Pal. So I'm just going to use the Score Pal for the whole thing. And I'm going to line my bottom piece right here up against the corner of the Score Pal. And then I'm going to score it at the 1 and... well, actually at the 3/4 inch mark, right here. I'm just going to score that. Okay, and then you can bend that just a little bit there. You can see where I've scored it. My next step is to take some of this 1/8 of an inch tape, and I'm just going to stick a piece right here. What I love about the score tape is you can just tear off any excess. You don't have to get your scissors involved, and that does make it a lot easier. And we'll put one more piece here. Peel off the backing. And now I'm going to line up my two pieces. Make sure the bottoms are perfectly in line. And the tops. There we go. Okay, and now you have a perfect little, once you fold that on that score line, you have a perfect little 4x4 card. Isn't that cute? Look how nice that is. Let's look at that a little more closely. See that? And then it just opens just like that. Now I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to make an envelope to match that 4x4 card. What I have here is a piece of the Wishing You Joy pattern paper. It's the 6x6 pattern paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your Score Pal and you're going to position the top, one of the points at the 6-inch mark, and then the bottom point at the 6-inch mark. And you can tell which that is because Score Pal now has two little arrows that point toward the 6-inch mark at the bottom. That makes it very easy to see what you're doing. So with the top at 6 and the bottom at 6, I'm going to score this at 8 inches. Then I'm going to turn it a quarter turn, line it up again, 6 inches and 6 inches, and score again at 8 inches. I'm going to continue to do that around the entire piece of pattern paper. 6 inches and 6 inches. Score at 8. And my final side. Got that all lined up. And there we go. Now, you'll notice on the back, there are these little areas where the score lines come together, where they meet. What you're going to do is snip those off. You're going to do that on all 4 of them, just like this. And I'm cutting just on the outside of those score lines. That'll make it a little bit easier to fold. And the last one here. Okay, there we go. Now, if you wanted to make this a white envelope, what you would do is fold it toward the pattern paper, and then when they opened it, they would just see the pattern paper on the inside of the envelope, and you could write the address here on the outside of the envelope. But if you want the pattern paper to show like I do, then you're going to fold this way. You're going to start by folding one side over and the other side over, like that. And then you're going to fold the bottom panel up. And of course, there's no top or bottom since it's a perfectly square card. Any one can be the side and any one can be the bottom. Then we're going to add a little bit of score tape, and I'm using the 1/8 of an inch score tape. And I like this because it's thin enough that the tape won't hang over the edge and won't stick to your card. It's only going to stick to the actual envelope itself. And one more piece here. Don't you just love the score tape that you can just tear and go? All right, and we'll peel the backing off. And holding these 2 pieces down, you want to just flip up on that, and you'll have a nice, neat envelope. Now, after you've put your card in there, you can fold that down, and you can tape that with either dot adhesive or a little bit of glue or some more score tape, whatever you want. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can do what I did on this one, and you can take a corner rounder and just make a little rounded corner on the top. You can use decorative scissors or a scalloped edge of a die and make it fancy, or you can do it just like this, keep it plain, it's a nice crisp look. Now we've turned off our non-glare lights, and I want to show you how pretty this sparkles. Look at that, isn't that just beautiful? You can see all the glitter along the edges and all over that little snowman. Isn't that pretty? And then look how easily this slips right into this little envelope. Just like that. The perfect fit. You'll never get tired of using this frame because it's the perfect size for so many of the smaller images you already have in your collection. You can also use this frame by stamping a greeting inside, and it will make the perfect gift tag for the holidays.